Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are returning, thank you for coming back and hanging with the kid. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and let's get into this video. So first, as a disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I am not a healthcare specialist. I am just a woman who needed to better advocate for herself, and I am going to share my story today and my experience with endometriosis. So, what is endometriosis? Endometriosis is when the lining that normally grows on the inside of your uterus grows on the outside of your uterus. This causes intense, excruciating cramps, pain during intercourse, during bowel movements, causes inflammation and bloating, fatigue, heavy excessive bleeding, so on and so on. There are two ways to be diagnosed with endometriosis. The way that I was diagnosed is clinically. This is when you speak to your doctor about your symptoms and they say, "Hey sis, I think you have endometriosis." The second way is to have a surgery, either laparoscopic or an excision surgery, where they take a small tissue sample from inside and get you the results back. And that's the more proper, formal way to be diagnosed. But you can simply be diagnosed just by telling your doctor your symptoms and what you're experiencing, and they can let you know what they think. So I am going to share my story. I'm going to talk about my experience. This is in no way a universal video about endometriosis. This is simply my point of view and what I have personally experienced the past, oh my god, 3 or 4 years now. For me, this all started in 2018. I had what I call the never-ending period. So October 2018, my cycle lasted until November of 2018, the end of November of 2018. So that's almost 2 months. I had a week break in between, and then it popped up all over again. And I will literally never forget, I was at a wedding in November, and I felt blood just gush from my body, and it pushed my tampon out. Back when I was wearing tampons, it literally pushed my tampon out, and luckily I had a pad on, or that would have been hella embarrassing because there probably would have just been blood everywhere on the floor. Oh, I can't even imagine. But it pushed it out, and I had to run to the bathroom, which the women's bathroom was closed for cleaning, so I had to use the men's bathroom, and I asked my partner to just stand outside to make sure no one came in. It was in that moment I was like, yeah, this has to change. So I was on my cycle for almost 2 months. I went through about 3 doctors before I found one who listened to me and scheduled an ultrasound to be taken. In that ultrasound, they did a pelvic exam. So you get the normal ultrasound with the cold gel in your belly, and then they move the little thing around and take images. But then they also do the vaginal scope. So they stick a scope up your vagina, move it all around so they can take pictures of your right ovaries, your left ovary, and your entire uterus. So I had that done, and the results of that came back with one polyp, one singular polyp, and I had the option to have a surgery to have it removed, or to just wait it out and see if it went away on its own. So I opted to have the surgery because I was tired of bleeding. And this was almost a year later from when everything started in 2018. So I had the surgery in 2019, and they removed not one, but 6 polyps that were around my uterine lining and gave me a full DNC. They just cleaned me out completely, and I haven't had excessive bleeding in that sense. But the symptoms that I experience that correlate to endometriosis are as follows. Excruciating cramps, and I mean the most painful cramps that one can experience, and I wish this upon no one. I mean, hear me when I say this. These are not normal cramps, and I'm in my 30s and I'm just learning that cramps in general aren't normal and we should not be experiencing them, and that's a whole nother topic. But the cramps that those who have endometriosis experience are excruciating, and I mean they take over your entire body, and I do not wish them upon anyone ever in life. It is pure hell. And I don't know how many times I had to call out of work in fear of losing my job for calling out so much. I couldn't do, I mean, I'll say can't because I still am experiencing them, just not as intensely as before, and I'll get to that and why soon. Like, I couldn't attend functions, I couldn't go out, I couldn't live because I was in so much pain. I was exhausted, so I had fatigue to the nth degree because I couldn't sleep because I was in so much pain. So all of these different things just piled on top of each other. All of these symptoms just piled on top of each other, and one was a cause and effect for another. The pain also made me nauseous, so I couldn't eat because I was extremely nauseous because I was in such extreme pain, and I couldn't sleep because I was in extreme pain and because I was nauseous. Having to use the bathroom was pure hell. I can't even explain to you how not only embarrassing but just inconvenient it is to just not be able to poop. Like, the constipation when you're on your cycle is so intense that you are having to force yourself to use the bathroom, and when you finally can, it is painful AF, and you have to pee all of the time. Listen, I don't know what your symptoms are. I'm only speaking for myself at this point, but when you have endo and you are trying to function in your everyday life, but a week out of every month you are just a shell of a body. You exist, you're there physically, but mentally, emotionally, you are gone. You can't focus on anything else other than the pain that you're in, other than the state and condition that you were in at that time is the only thing that you can grasp. A few other symptoms were something I call lightning crotch, where literally it just feels like bolts of lightning are being thrown up into your vagina. And I equate this with when I get my cycle, my uterus expands and it enlarges, causing bloating and inflammation. And it's over, and then it's, getting back to its regular size, I am getting these bolts of lightning, which I think is just the contractions. Which I have never in my life been pregnant, never given birth, but I'm pretty sure all of these painful things that I'm feeling are equivalent to rearing a child. So shout out to the women who are rocking these babies, pushing them out, because woo, child. A new symptom that I've discovered in the past year are butt cramps. I call them booty cramps. They are the cramps that you normally would feel in your pelvic area have moved, and they are now in your butt. So that's fun. The things that women go through, I don't think you guys really truly understand. I mean, maybe the ones that are watching and are also experiencing these things can relate, and please, if you can, just leave some comments below. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. Let me know if you have found a doctor that advocates for you, that listens to you, because that would bring me so much joy. I have had some horrible doctor experiences. In 2018, when this was first happening to me, I scheduled an appointment and I had to see a PCP. I had to see a primary care doctor because the OBs were just booked for months out. So the first available appointment I could get was with a PCP, and they told me it's fine, like they also do pelvic exams. So I was like, perfect, I'll go. So made the appointment, went to the appointment, only for this woman to tell me that what I was experiencing was normal. Bleeding for 2 months on end was normal, and that if it continued, to just come back and see her. I'm sorry, what? You want me to continue bleeding for months on end with no recourse, no cause for concern, no plan, nothing, just come back if it doesn't clear up. Okay, I'll do that. I did not do that. Found another doctor. She listened to me, and I don't know if it's because I had my mom with me at the time. She was visiting, my mom was visiting, and I happened to make an appointment, and so I brought her with me. But she listened, and she scheduled an ultrasound for me, and that's when I found out about the polyps. The crazy thing, actually, like, that doctor scheduled the ultrasound, had the ultrasound, we went over the results afterwards, and then she scheduled the surgery for me, and she was going to be doing the surgery. And then the day before, the night before the surgery, a doctor called and said, hey, so-and-so had to take a leave of absence. She put you in good hands with her colleague who's going to do the surgery instead, unless you want to either wait for her to come back or reschedule it. And I was like, the hell? So anyway, had the surgery, and then the doctor that ended up doing the surgery, during my follow-up, this lady, after explaining to her the pain that I was experiencing, told me to start taking ibuprofen 2 days before my cycle to help reduce the inflammation. And I looked at her with what I'm only guessing is a death stare, because I can't hide my emotions on my face. She said, I'm in no means dismissing what you're saying. I hear you, I believe you, but still, like, I get cramps too, and this is what I do. I'm like, these are not cramps. This is pain. These aren't just period cramps. Like, this is literal. Like, I'm in excruciating pain, and ibuprofen does not do anything for me. So anyway, needless to say, did not go see her again, ever. And then I finally found a black woman doctor. Yes, all of these other women doctors were white. At this point, it was 2020, so a lot of doctors weren't taking, like, in-person appointments for new patients anyway. So we had a phone conversation, and she told me, I think this is what you have, this is what we can do. And so I did it. I am going to make a part 2 because I have updated information on kind of where I am now with my endo and what I'm doing to help alleviate some of the pain, what I think is helping anyway, and just my overall experience from 2018 to now. And a few things have changed, a few things that I have done lifestyle-wise, diet-wise, to kind of help me push through these times. So if you or anyone else that you know is experiencing similar symptoms, if you think that you or someone else may have endometriosis, I suggest that you find a doctor who will listen and advocate for you. Tell them everything that you are experiencing. I mean everything. Leave nothing out because it's extremely important for them to fully understand the scope of what you're experiencing so that they can better help you. And don't stop until you find someone who will listen to you, because you matter and you know your body. And yeah, so keep pushing, keep going. And I think that's all we have for today. If you resonated with this video, please like, comment, share it. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I have way more of these videos to come. And I hope to see you in the next one.